Sports Center from the nation's capital. I'm Scott Van Pelt. The New York Knicks complete a comeback that there is very little historical comp for. We will visit with Karl Anthony Towns from the Garden, Tim Legler from courtside as well, Kendrick Perkins with us in studio. That's all on the way. And a one big thing on the singular Victor Wembanyama ahead of Game 2. We begin with what we just witnessed from the Garden. Knicks played 9 days ago. They made 25 threes in that game, scored 144. Cavs running on fumes, so advantage home team, right? Well, maybe. Slow to get going, but Jalen Brunson, the attack, Knicks up one, then Brunson finds a clean look from the free throw line. He had 10 in the quarter. Cleveland held to their low point total in the first quarter all season. It's 23-16. Now the strip and Brunson, easy bucket. Knicks had 15 points off turnovers in the first half. 5-point deficit. Allen gives to Donovan Mitchell. Three the hard way and the free throw. Then it's Mitchell who that's a beautiful design play back from Mobley. Hits the three. And there's the star scoring comparison. Cleveland carried the lead into the locker room, and it begins to grow in the third. Corner three, Evan Mobley. This is a guy that if he hits that shot, forget it. Cavs up 4. Now it's Cleveland's turn to start stripping. Donovan Mitchell gets the rip from Mikal Bridges. That little patented wrong foot scoop. It's an 8-point lead. Then Mitchell down the lane. Beautiful Euro, and Mitchell doing his thing on both ends of the floor. Next possession, it's Mobley with the block from behind. The 7-point lead's about to grow. Mobley, Harden, down low. Mobley has a size advantage on Brunson. Mike Brown, timeout. Cavs lead by 9, largest lead of the game. But it's about to mushroom from here. Then a Schroeder on the drive. Give to Jarrett Allen. Easy layup, 11. Sam Merrill. Shooter. A little bit off his spot, no problem. Gathers and buries that. The lead's 14. Then it's Mitchell working on Brunson. There's that same shot you saw in transition. It's a 16-point lead. Cavs are 28-1 when they enter the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. It's a 22-point game. A little more than 7.5 to go. Brunson, float game, up. 20-point game. All right, it's 14. It was right around now that Steve asked, can they get it to 10? Beautiful shot there. Tough angle off glass, 12-point game. Well, now it's 10. Can you get it to single digits? Again, it's Brunson off glass. He does as he pleases in a sea of larger men. Shout to Action Bronson. All three of these, and now it's an 18-1 run for the Knicks. It's a 5-point game. We're back in the ball game. Off the miss. This was a key sequence. A 7-point game. Scott Foster comes running in and calls a foul. Kenny Atkinson smiling, but he's not smiling. So it's still a 7-point game, but the Knicks get an extra possession, if you will. Mikal Bridges, the step back three. Now it's 4. Knicks down 6. Under a minute and a half. Brunson kick. Bridges bottoms. It's back to a 3-point game. That's royalty there. LJ, Patrick Ewing. And now this is one of the shots of the night. Down 3. Landry Shamet. It's bouncing all around. Not quite the same as Halliburton as last year, but it's the same idea. It's a 3 that finds the bottom that looked like it might miss. Now it's James Harden. Isolating on Brunson. He gets the bucket. But right back at you. It's Brunson again. How many times in the fourth off that corner of the glass we're tied? Again, it's Harden. Merrill from deep, and it's halfway down and out. That's excruciating if you're on Cleveland, if you're rooting for Cleveland. A lot of different things, mostly as it relates to the ball game, because now we go to overtime. Put 5 minutes on the clock, and it's more of the same. Brunson, they're attacking Harden, and there's no answer. Again, same deal, the kick out. OG Anunoby goes baseline, bully, and it's a 6-point lead. And Shamet, who was huge on the defensive end, one more time. Huge three. That's it, that's all. They come roaring back, finish the game on a 44-11 kick. And New York cheering a victory that was not seemingly in the cards. That's a gutting loss for Cleveland. 1-0 Knicks. New York won. Hedrick Perkins with us in studio. And Perk, you've been on both sides of these things, man. When you are on the right side of it with New York in the fourth quarter and in overtime, you heard Karl Anthony Towns allude to the stops they got, and the ball starts going in. They made 13 of their last 14. We're watching it upstairs. Man, how'd that happen?
Well, one, you got to give a lot of credit to Mike Brown, because this new offensive system that he's put in, especially, you know, at the start of the Atlanta series where Karl Anthony Towns is running that point forward, you have so much spacing, right? And that allows Jalen Brunson to go to work and get those isolations. And it's hard to send a double team because now they have so much spacing and they have so much shooting on the floor, especially with Karl Anthony Towns. But then they hung their hats on the defensive side of the basketball, right? We give a lot of credit to the Knicks for being a good offensive team, but they've been great this postseason defensively, and I got to tip my hat to them because they've been getting stops when they need to get stops, and they've been hanging their hats on the defensive side.
I appreciate Karl Anthony Towns saying we thought we could win all night. Of course.
Right.
What else is he going to say? But you're down 22, and they can't make a bucket, man. When did you start to think, man, this could be, because Steve asked, could they get it to 10? It was like 94-84, I want to say is what it was. And then Brunson starts hitting threes, and the Garden starts going crazy. And I'm just, when you're on the right side of it, it feels great. But Cleveland could just, I can't imagine what that feeling is like. When did you think it could happen?
Well, the biggest thing is when you're on the road, you want to keep the crowd out of the game. And once we saw the crowd get rowdy, and all of a sudden you started to see the energy in the arena and the guys on the floor started to get life, you knew that they had an opportunity to win that basketball game. And all of a sudden, you know, role players, Landry Shamet, they play better at home. And we started to see Mikal Bridges. He got stops. He got timely buckets, hitting big-time threes along with Big Body Brunson, do what he does best, and that's being one of the best closers in the game, Scott.
They went after Harden, didn't they?
Oh, I was waiting on that. Again, when the pressure is on, we watch Harden and the Cleveland Cavaliers fold like clean sheets. And I got to give a lot of blame to Harden and Kenny Atkinson. One, for having Harden on the floor. Like, he was a defensive liability for them all in that fourth quarter. Big Body Brunson, 7 for 8 in the fourth in overtime when James Harden was defending them. When James Harden defended anybody else on the Knicks, they were 9 for 15. And last time I checked, Donovan Mitchell is still the number one option offensively for the Cavs.
Yep.
How many times did we see him standing in the corner and not touching the damn basketball?
That's something I asked Tim Legler about, that conversation coming in a moment. I'm going to continue this conversation with you in a moment on the cost of this loss for Cleveland. Here now some thoughts from that side from Mitchell and Harden.
It's one game. We could have lost by 40. Still would have been 1-0. So we just watched the film. We played, pretty solid for 3 quarters or so. We'll make adjustments and go from there.
And as a leader, what's going to be your message to the guys tomorrow?
I said in the locker room, just that. We lost. We blew it. All right, let's run for game 2. Simple as that.
James, where's the team's mentality after a game like this? Obviously, you're going to lose games in the postseason, but to be up so big, so late, how is it harder to flush a game like this?
No, we're a super confident team. Obviously we understand. We literally let one slip away, but we got a lot of positives out of this game. So we just watch film, figure out what we can correct, and put an entire game together.
We'll get the Knicks side of things in a bit. Coach Brown said we attacked Harden. That's what he said, and you saw it. Brunson hit some high-level shots. I mean, if we're being fair, and we should be, Brunson hit some high leverage shots, difficult shots, but that's what he does in the fourth quarter. Donovan says it's just one loss. He's right, But when you let one of these get away like that on the road, how much more costly is it than just what the math says it is?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's right. It is just one loss, but it's a loss that's going to cost them this series. They're going to look back at this game, and when this series is over, when they lose this series, and said, man, we let one slip away. And they're going to regret every single minute, every single second of that fourth quarter. Because despite how awful they was offensively and not getting Donovan Mitchell involved or trying to get Evan Mobley on the mismatch in the low post, they still were up double digits. So at the end of the day, all you had to do was get stops. All you had to do was find some type of pride, have somebody on the floor to show some type of leadership and say, hey, guys, let's buckle down and show some type of grit. Let's show some type of heart, and let's defend at a high level. And the IQ of James Harden. When Mikal Bridges hit that three in the corner, that was James Harden's fault. Helping off the strong side corner, just making up stuff on the fly.
That's rule number one, right?
That's rule number one in everyone locker room. Scott, never help off the strong side corner. Easy pass by Jalen Brunson, easy knockdown three by Mikal Bridges. And again, Kenny Atkinson continued to roll with James Harden when he saw that they were searching him out. You have a guy like Dennis Schroeder who's on the bench that could come in and provide and be a defensive pest and somewhat give you that tenacity that you was lacking in the fourth quarter. But instead, you let James Harden sink the ship for your whole entire ball club.
And yet, as poorly as they played, as they melted and couldn't get a stop and couldn't get a bucket, that Merrill three is halfway down. Mike Breen had the bang halfway loaded. He was ready to say it, and it looked like it was going to be another road team getting a victory at the end. They don't. So I'm not trying to sell sunshine here. I'm just saying it's remarkable to me how fractional the difference is for a team that was just couldn't get anything right at the end, and they still nearly won that basketball game. I'm just curious if they can look at that middle section and pull from it value, lean on the things that they're going to see on tape, and like Mobley this, Mobley that. We were ready to talk about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was going to be the conversation.
But Scott, think about this for a second. The Knicks played the worst half of basketball that they've played, first half, that they played probably in the last, 4 or 5 games, last 4 or 5 games. You got to capitalize on that. The Knicks had a layoff, right? So they're not going to come into game 2 playing the same way that they played in game 1. And now the confidence level is where it's high. And Madison Square Garden is going to be rocking in game 2.
Of course they are. They're going to carry that momentum in with them, I'd have to believe. I mean, look, the Knicks aren't going to start 4 from 24 from 3 ever again, all right? This was your chance. They made 6 of their last 8 because they just decided they weren't going to miss at the end. You might have